and welcome to Loot Level Chat, episode 11. My name's Adam Cook, and I'm joined by Steve Chambers.
Buongiorno.
Really? Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Mick Fraser.
Hey, he's surnaming us tonight.
Oh, I don't have to. Lyle.
Yeah, one name. I'm like, yeah.
Hello, Lyle, and hello. I mean, it's a bit of a spoiler to anyone watching the video version, but Christopher, I don't want to swear this early on a YouTube video, but Christopher White. Feels like there should be some sort of, you know.
Oh, guys, stop! Come on.
It's been too
Just
long.
a man.
Just
Just a man. Well, Chris, you know, this is as new to you as it is anyone, you know. So we do a bit of news. So we're going to talk about a game I imagine is fairly close to your heart. But I'm going to lead with the negative first. It has been delayed. GTA 6 is not. And I know there should be a drum roll for those who just are going to be stunned about this. GTA 6 is not coming in 2025. It's coming in 2026. How'd you feel?
yeah.
Fine, honestly.
Well,
Has it surprised anyone, really?
No, not all. And how many other games are coming out? How many games have been out? It's not like we're missing out on titles at the minute.
No.
And it comes out the same month as Avengers Doomsday, which is going to be a packed May next year. So.
Sure.
All right. I'm
excited
excited for it. I'm sure many others are.
Doomsday, yeah.
It's not that I'm excited. I just don't know enough about it. Like I saw a lot of the. Was it a Captain America film recently with the Red Hulk?
Oh yeah.
In the trailers,
Fuck that. You should watch Thunderbolts.
Don't even know what that one is.
If you want a good Marvel film, Jesus,
It looks really good.
You'll like it a lot for reasons. But,
Okay.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, GTA 6 they announced the delay. Well, no, it would be a delay. It would be because the original trailer said 2025 in it, didn't it? So it is a delay.
But look, Rockstar release stuff when it's ready, don't they? They do this. And so all delays kind of suck a bit, but Rockstar, if they're delaying it, they've got reasons. Do you know what I mean?
Look, I'll make this. It's a bold statement. If they had, and I'm not 100% convinced this may not happen, but if they had come out and said we're going to release it in 2027, I still wouldn't be like, oh, for God. Because do you know what? I can't think of a period ever where I've been like, I wish more games came out. Like, I've got really nothing to play.
Yeah, not at the minute, man.
No.
Like, can anyone ever remember? And obviously, you want to play it eventually, don't you? But, like, I'd really rather a game like that. They're up there, aren't they?
One thing I keep thinking is like, and this isn't a complaint about my job, but like if you weren't working at a website, it'd be the perfect game. Like when you have to review or play these kind of things, you focus and rush it. Like Red Dead 2, I played that. Yes. I kind of had to mainline it, but not that. Like I say, I'm not complaining.
No,
but I'm not like. It's going to be great. We all know it's going to be probably the biggest game of all time. I can wait a little bit longer. But the trailer,
we should say them. The week after, they also released this week. They released the trailer 2. They don't even bother titling.
All
captured
on PS5 cutscenes, PS5, like the actual what you're going to be seeing a year earlier.
It doesn't look like they're delaying it for polish, that's for sure.
No, God knows. God knows what we're gonna.
You say that, but like when you're talking about that level of fidelity and that size game in terms of, map size, scope. They choose what they want to show from it, don't they?
Oh, for sure. But for what we've seen so far, that's one hell of a pretty ass looking game.
Yeah.
This has been in development for a long time as well, so they will. I mean, there's every chance that some of it is because they want to tweak stuff, add stuff. They might rewrite stuff. Do you know what I mean? They might bring things more up to date, current affairs. Do you know what I mean?
It's been that long, hasn't it?
Yeah, and it's been a long time since they did a game, period, let alone the last GTA game. So, there's probably many reasons
what would be the last Rockstar game? Red Dead 2?
I think Red Dead 2 was the last Rockstar game, which has got to be pushing...
But it was last gen.
7 years? 7, 8 years
definitely
now?
last gen. This is not got... that's one thing people want, isn't it? Like a native PS5. Or did that happen? See, I'm losing my mind now a bit with them.
See, I think GTA 5, wasn't that like 2013 or something? Like...
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it feels right.
Yeah,
2 gens ago.
I know Lyle's gone very quiet because I was going to say I know we're all excited for it, but even you, Lyle, it must be like I would like to see it, like just play it and know what it is.
Yeah. It's like it's a game for like normal people, so I'm not that excited. I played through GTA 5 like twice though, so like it's got to be all right, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not a bad game, is it?
Says a lot.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember that I'd seen this trailer. I have. This is the trailer with it's like the couple, like a Bonnie and Clyde situation.
Yes, exactly that.
I did watch that trailer. I've watched so many trailers this week. Yeah, I did. That's partly what's got me intrigued again, because it's a different dynamic again. Grand Theft Auto, they do this.
Do you think people will be like, they're scaling back?
Protagonists again, aren't we?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Do you think people will be like, oh, they're scaling back now? It's 2. There was 3. You know,
that's fine. I know that I found it a problem in 5 because it's pretty much a perfect game, but you've got 2 characters. I'm more than happy just to focus on the 2.
Yeah. Do you think it will still be, for want of a better sort of term or description, do you think it will still be GTA as we know it? Like, do you think it will still be like there's elements of it being quite real, grounded, but do you think it will also still have the silliness, or do you think they will go like really
there's
full
always
on?
Going to
Like,
be a level of the fantastical in it.
No, but that's what
it
I'm
looks
asking. Do you
less
think they will do
irreverent
that?
though.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. Do you think
that
they will
trailer
go more
looks
for
less...
the Last of Us style? Like, this is a
Nah,
gritty, serious.
You remember the first trailer? The first trailer had all like the TikTok, like the
well, that's
references and stuff. There's
But
a
that's
whole
dangerous,
new
'cause what if
genre
that
of
shit
social
changes?
media now.
What if in a year's time all that stuff's changed and all the references? Mind you, there's no
That's
harm
what
in
they're
that.
going to be.
I don't think so. I don't think it'll be. I think it'll be a similar kind of tone. Because there were times in GTA 5 where it's incredibly serious.
Yeah.
And then times of humour, it's just that's their style and that's
I
what
remember
works.
4
That's what
being
people
more.
want.
That was, mind you, that's what people hated about 4, wasn't it? That it was really
4 was a
gritty
lot more po-faced actually.
I really liked 4, if I'm honest.
It had its moments, but I hope they don't try and like top Trevor. Do you know what I mean? I hope they take the right lessons away, because he was a great character for that game. But I hope they're not going to try and like, because one of these characters is going to have an old friend or a cousin or an uncle or something that's going to have the usual GTA psychotic tendencies to get the laughs in. You know, it's going to happen. So I'm hoping they kind of don't try and chase themselves in that way, because they don't really need to. I don't think Grand Theft Auto is something that can get away with having a whole new character dynamics every time, and no one goes, oh, I wish this character was more like, because GTA 4 at the time was like the biggest thing ever, and I know people complained a little bit that it was a bit more serious, and they certainly do now in retrospect, but like Nico Bellic was a fantastic protagonist, like really intricate layered protagonist.
It's not like in GTA games people are going like, oh, I wish this game had Ezio in it again, like in Assassin's Creed, you know
exactly.
I mean?
It's not like that. They're not. I don't think GTA the city is the main character usually, that and the story probably the second main character, and then the characters sort of just fill in the archetypes that you need to make everything else tick, which is much the same as they did with
spend the time making their own stories in it as well, aren't they? They're going to spend so much time in multiplayer. That's where they're.
I'm going to ask a prediction. Anyway. I'm going to ask a prediction from you all now, right? Because I've been thinking about this a lot. Right, and my advice, by the way, is if you want GTA 6 to get pushed forward, stop playing the online. That's because I think that they that's a cash cow for Rockstar, and like. That leads into my question. Do you think GTA 6 launches with a brand new online component, or do they just wrap GTA? Because it's now, you got to remember, now they have over the years separated them out to being GTA Online and GTA 5. It's not called like GTA 5 Online, it's just GTA Online, isn't it? Do you think they separate them out, or do you think they try and make a brand new one and get, because they make a lot of money?
I don't think they will. I don't think they'll
just fold it in.
Yeah, I don't think they'll make a new, because part of the reason
how will that
GTA
work?
Online
in a different city?
Yeah, but I'm sure. I mean, perhaps this is part of the delay. You don't know, but GTA Online makes an ungodly amount of money.
That's what I mean. Will it?
And I think having to try and like a lot of the people that are the really big spenders in GTA Online are the people that have been spending on it since it launched. Like, these are the guys that are the whales that are spending, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars or whatever. And I think to press reset on that,
that's what I mean,
and risk losing those people, I think would be a big deal.
Could.
That's potentially. But I think if you're asking for
a little while.
Well, let's have a vote.
Predictions, I would say I don't think so. I think
it will continue.
Fold a new version in. They'll update it. Maybe they'll even add a whole city to it. But I don't think that, or even still, maybe give you an option to be able to move some of the character or some of the things that you've got in GTA Online into the new city. Like, we've moved to a new location, but you get to keep some of the hundreds of thousands of dollars that you spent over the years.
I'm going to go with the same as you. As my vote is going to be, well, not my vote. My prediction is going to be they'll find a way of folding it in somehow. Steve?
Something new.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, Steve, yourself, what do you think?
I agree. It makes the most sense.
You don't
I would
think
imagine
brand
Sling running
new?
in parallel for a little while and slowly pushing everyone over to it.
Lyle?
Yeah, there's got to be some level of connection. I mean, I guess there's also the chance as well that that's something that they sort of plan to do a little bit down the line. But at the very start, like, I mean, at the start of GTA 5, the online wasn't there, was it, back
Correct.
in the day? So, like, it's not like there's no precedent for them to just
Same
like...
for Red Dead as well, wasn't it? Red Dead 2?
Yeah, Red Dead was.
So.
And then they were both broken at launch. Like, they really struggled to get them off the ground. And then...
So Red Dead multiplayer never really found its feet in the same way either.
No, it didn't.
I don't think it ever took off in the way they might have hoped.
Chris, what do you think?
I definitely think there'll be a new GTA Online.
Fair enough.
But I don't think it's coming at launch. I think there will be a brand new experience, brand new starting characters, starting from scratch. Whether they continue with the old one, I don't know. But I think
I'm going to change my vote, my prediction to be in line with you. Actually, the more I think, I've been thinking on and off about it for weeks, and that's.
I think if the length of time GTA 5 Online has been going, is that going to go on for another 20?
That's what I mean. Yeah.
So I think the goal will be a brand new one.
Okay. Well, moving away from GTA, moving away to another game that begins with G. We won't stick on this for too long, but it's worth mentioning because it's kind of a big deal, really. Gears of War Reloaded is coming to Xbox Series S and X, PC, and PlayStation 5. Gears of War is coming to PlayStation 5.
The crazy world we live in.
I was more wanted to put this in here because it's like, does that just leave Halo?
Pretty much, doesn't
That's the big one, yeah.
Because you can't go Fable because it's not Fable's not. They're too old, like, and you've not had like a remaster. But like Gears of War being on PlayStation, you've got Forza. What else is there? I mean, Indiana Jones, like the modern stuff.
You've got Sea of Thieves.
I
think Halo's coming.
That's what I'm saying. It's just Halo left, right?
I think Xbox are proving more and more that they just want people to play games. And I know that sounds like kissing their asses a bit, maybe it is, but I think that's what they want. I think now they've kind of moved on, much the same way. I mean, Nintendo got themselves out of the console war years ago, and I think now Xbox have just kind of recused themselves from the whole thing and just said, just want people to play games. We want to make money, and we want people to play games. And because I presume that Xbox are still going to make shitloads of money from Gears of War hitting PlayStation, right? There's a deal there somewhere where... And I can't imagine why, because Halo has fallen out of prominence like quite massively. That used to be like their flagship for a while, and I think nowadays people aren't really excited. Like a new Halo game announced now, I wonder how excited people would get. But if they said there's a new Halo and it's coming to PlayStation as well, I don't know whether that... Do you know what I mean? That's plus our back catalogue of Halo games.
It might have more legs because of it, to be fair.
Here's the thing,
because there's a lot of Halo games as well. Like, there's a lot of Halo games. So
bring the Master Chief Collection over. You're laughing.
Well, that's why I would absolutely play that on PlayStation. But here's a little mini quiz for you, right? PlayStation have announced...
Klaus Strife.
Yeah, that's a Patreon-only joke. People won't get that. Right, PlayStation have announced...
Will if they subscribe to Patreon?
They would, and they should at patreon.com/LukeLevelChill. Thank you, Mick, for the reminder. Anyway, PlayStation have announced like April's top-selling games, digitally, obviously. US and Canada and EU. They're really, really interesting. I don't normally get into the charts or anything like that, right? Does anyone want to guess what either of the... Let's just say the top 3 games were for either
Blueprints.
Nope.
Forza Horizon 5,
yes,
right?
that was number 1 in the EU and number 3 in Americas.
Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Nope.
Claire Obscure.
No, that was number 4 in Europe, though. So I'm going to give you a clue. It's very much linked to what we've just been talking about in terms of who makes the games.
Is it Sea of Thieves still? Could that be?
No. So US and Canada, right? Number 1, Oblivion Remastered. Who owns that?
Oh shit, course it is.
Xbox.
Number 2, Minecraft. Who owns that?
Yeah.
Number 3, Forza Horizon 5. Notice the theme. Moving over to the EU, number 1 selling game, Forza Horizon 5. Number 2, Oblivion Remastered. Number 3, Minecraft. So Microsoft dominated the PlayStation 5 digital sales of April.
Yeah. And this is the plan. This is their plan, and it's working. And who cares other than fucking console war extremists? Everyone just wants more opportunities to play more games.
And it means if you're like someone like us, you might not need multiple consoles fairly soon, and that's kind of nice.
It is,
but you
also
want,
just
you
to go into the top 10.
That...
Sorry, hang on, just so I can close this window. Basically, like so, also in Europe, Indiana Jones and Call of Duty were also in the top 10, which again, wild.
Yeah, and you kind of hope that Sony would do the same, but I know they release their games onto Steam now quite often, like a lot of their back catalogue as well. There's things they hold that like their psychotic fucking death grip on, like Bloodborne and things like that, but it would be nice to see everybody just be... I know exclusives used to be more important, and I don't feel like they're as important anymore.
They've dropped off over the years.
Well, no,
I think they might be the only thing that Sony have got. Yeah, I think
Nintendo and Sony are still putting out Mario Kart World is an exclusive.
Yeah, but Nintendo have always got that market, haven't they? Like they've always got that.
It's easy to say for Xbox, like, oh, it's great they're doing this, but that's because the exclusives haven't been there.
Yeah, that is true, actually.
They are getting there, and we've had some really, really good games, but they have not been there. They are now, as I say, and it's great to see more, and I'm always going to be for games like Gears hitting PlayStation. I'll play through Gears again on PlayStation, like, you don't need to worry about that. And I have been playing Forza Horizon, and Chris, so have you. Like, they look and play great, but let's not also kid ourselves. When we're talking about, like, most anticipated, go back a week, Ghost of Yotei is not coming to Xbox. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, Gears of War, PlayStation 5, which means we can move on to games we have actually played. Well, we have played that, but not that. I think everyone here has played this, which is remarkable. But Revenge of the Savage Planet. Who wants to start?
Oh, Lyle reviewed it. Maybe Lyle should start.
I will happily start.
Okay.
So yeah, I got to preview this a while ago as well. So I've been excited for this for a decent amount of time, let's say. And it's such a friction-free, lovely experience of like the most chilled out, like funny. Like there's no like nasty difficulty or like things to really worry about. It's a big 3D Metroidvania where you go around planets, you do lots of nice scanning, you capture creatures, you explore with abilities that just keep upgrading at this pace that's fucking wonderful, and as it always does in a Metroidvania, it rewards that backtracking that we all love. And like it's such a fucking lovely game to play, and the big shift is first person to third person, and I don't feel like it ever felt like a detraction.
I lamented that a little bit at first because I was a big fan of the first game.
I was wondering about that for you.
Yeah, but after 5-10 minutes, I'd forgotten that was a thing.
I think the way they deal with it in the opening cutscene. Yeah, well, the animation helps, but the way they deal with it in the opening cutscene, I think, is quite clever.
I think it brought a lot more character to the game by switching to third person, and I don't think it lost anything. Like, it didn't feel like it lost, because it
enjoys first person platforming, like, hands up.
Well, yeah, it can be quite difficult, and I think Journey to the Savage Planet was it was very much like a proof of concept when you play this one. Like, there was a lot of things in that game because it was a surprisingly short game. It wasn't particularly intricate, but it had a lot of stuff that they've just built upon quite massively in the sequel.
Yeah, definitely.
And like, it's also really quite ridiculously funny in a way I wasn't really prepared for. But like, obviously, even like down to the animation, like that will make you smile pretty much throughout the game, and you'll keep discovering new little ones, like when you unlock the fact that you don't take fall damage and your falls just change entirely and are always amusing. Right, but then from that there's even just stuff like the adverts never get old, right? Like there's
so many as well.
Like, so many.
Every time you go back to the ship, there's another one. It's like,
and I was never tempted to skip one or walk out on one. I was always there, like, what sort of absolutely bizarre, baffling shit are they going to throw at us next? Like, what are they going to be advertising? Like, early on, a core favourite was obviously Burger Squirts, which I think it will be for a lot of people. That's just like they did hire one specific person that they spoke to me when I was doing the preview just to make these like skits, and the guy I was speaking to called him unhinged, and I was like, yeah, no, that tracks.
You see why.
I really like the little story arc between you and the Planet Cannon arm. So, like, I don't know if you finished the game. Have you finished? Did you? So you finished the game?
Yeah, Lana has.
And like the first time it grabs you, it sort of takes you by surprise and it's really violent. And then the second time your character like tries to avoid it and it gets you.
Yeah.
And then by the time, a mild spoiler, by the time you get to the end, he just sort of stands there and lets it take him. And it's just brilliant. It's just a really nice little touch that he's just gone through this kind of like little story arc with this mechanical arm that keeps violating him. It's brilliant.
There's a huge amount of incidental animations that I feel like it's not going to get. I don't think this game's going to get a huge amount of credit, and it does an awful lot with relatively little in that respect. But it's like there's stuff in your base where you can customize your base, as like you said about the preview. You mentioned that way back then, but like there's animations for stuff in that you could completely not. There's no. To my knowledge, there's no real reason you should or shouldn't. Oh, aside from a side quest, I suppose you don't have to interact with that base stuff. Really, there is a side quest obviously for it.
Just there if you want it.
But yeah, it's just if you want it. But like, it's not. It could easily just be like, oh, we've put a side quest in, but everything you can put in has like an bespoke animation, and like the hug machine or the little video game machines or the way you get onto a bed, and even down to the fact the way you respawn. I mean, I don't want to spoil, but like, I've seen at least 3 different animations for respawning in the thingy.
Yeah,
one of them made you question what the heck was going on for a few seconds, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, because again, I don't want to spoil, but there are a few where you're like, what? Oh, yeah, silly game. You know what I mean? It's like,
but like it's
go on.
It's also just not just a silly game, though, is it?
No,
like it's such a like endlessly compelling game of like you're always collecting something. You always have a quest log that's got like 10 things on, and you kind of want to do them all at once. And you always know that you're going to get something good for whatever you decide to spend your time doing. Like, you know, you get extra upgrades if you start scanning more things, or, you know, that if you capture the creatures and figure out how to do that, which admittedly isn't that difficult. But like, you know, it's a thing where it's like, oh, well, there's a type of creature I've not managed to grab yet. Maybe I can now. Oh, it'll help me research something new. And it all just sort of like flows together so easily. And then like, you know, you can just also go out and explore the planet, and it's all the planets that you explore are like beautiful and interesting in their own rights. And like, I'm never tired of, you know, going somewhere new and just picking a direction and being like, there's a bit of a map I haven't looked at there.
It's the scanning as well becomes so oddly addictive at times.
Oh,
You'll just flip it up, have a look around. What haven't I got so far? And just looking for the orange bits. It's like grab.
They said when I was at the preview again about with the scanning, it was like they wanted to make it like color coded because they basically took inspiration from like people loving Power Wash Simulator and just wanting to clear like screens of the and like, you know, just
and it works, man. It works.
It does. You don't want if you never want there to be a bit a random mushroom you haven't scanned, and there's no like important reason to do so, and it's never that like you'll get a bit of lore that'll usually be like a stupid joke, also just bringing that comedy back as well. But
yeah, they're pretty good in themselves, aren't they, as well?
Yeah, for sure.
It's worth mentioning as well, something I really appreciate about it, as you obviously, if you're a fan of Metroidvanias, like you'll be aware of things like sequence breaking in games, and while I don't think you can because it's 3D, it's a bit different, but there are, and I presume we all had an element like this. Mine involved a bomb. There are moments where you do something and it goes, so you've got a companion. Is it Echo? Is it Echo? Yeah. You've got a companion that's talking to you, and you can if it's too much, you can adjust how much it speaks to you. But mine were like, oh, you haven't unlocked the ability to be able to do that yet. Well done. And it's like, that's really cool and self-aware enough. And I think, so I know Mick had one, and it was not the same as mine. So it's like there is multiple sequence break moments like that. I had
a cool how did you get up here? That was one thing that she asked me, the drone, when I'd sort of Skyrim'd my way up to an area.
I think it encourages Skyrimming though. Oof.
Yeah, it does.
That's what
I think I did want it to be. I said when we were playing pre-release, and I spoke to Adam, and I said I think the only thing I wanted was because Chris mentioned that it is frictionless, and it's very frictionless, and that's good. Like I didn't mind that because I've done a couple of Souls-likes this year, and it was nice to have a game that just didn't really ask that much of me except to kind of have fun. But also, I would have really appreciated some sort of. Maybe in a couple of rare species on a planet that you had to do a little bit of extra legwork to maybe find or capture. Like I mentioned, like something like bug snacks, where that was quite simple, but you'd have like sometimes one of the things you had to catch would be on fire, so you had to find something to put it out.
Do you not think it would be nice to come back to this and say, by the way, this isn't me revealing secrets, I don't know, but 3 months time or say for some DLC where they add like, I don't know, like an extra hard planet, that'd be kind of, because it does feel like a game you would, I mean, I know you did, Mick, you absolutely annihilated it and couldn't stop playing it. I think
absolutely loved it.
So it's like, it would be good, it would give you a reason to come back, right?
Oh yeah, it would, absolutely. Yeah, I'd come back for that 100%.
Yeah, but like I do think when you're having to pick apart the only things about this game that aren't like the best thing, it is just like I had that same feeling of like I would like just a little something that was like this is you like putting what you've got to the test, or a reason why you've been collecting these health upgrades, because you kind of might as well not. Do you know what I mean? Like you're not going to die very much. You just collect them because they're there.
Yeah. Yeah, there's very little I didn't like about it. I think the only thing for me is sometimes I wish the map was a bit, like these are tiny things in the grand scheme, the map was a bit better. Like I never seem to be able to zoom in, maybe it's my old man eyesight, but you know the little icon of you on the screen on the map?
Yeah.
Sometimes I couldn't tell which way I was facing on that map because it's all a bit busy underneath. It could just be.
We've only got that little tiny arrow as well with the direction.
Yeah, and like when you are trying, because I will say it also does really friendly things. Like eventually the map will show you there's a thing you can get here and a thing you can get there, but it will also say unavailable if you just don't have the ability to do it. Not to say you definitely can't, but you're not supposed to be able to. So when you are sort of going back to an area to hunt down those 2 new things that you now can get because you've just unlocked, I don't know, underwater abilities, let's say, it is like, I wish I could put a thing on the map that when I pinged it, it was like, you know, it was custom markers. But again, once you start getting into that minutia, like, I mean, Chris has been very quiet, so he either hates it or is
I just haven't played enough of it.
No, but what you...
for what I've literally played two hours, but everything you're saying is like one of the things that I love is the scanning. Like like Steve was saying, it becomes like an addiction. It's like collecting Lego studs in like Star Wars Lego or something like that. You just have to find
me of No Man's Sky, that bit.
Everything. Yeah, no, it does. But like,
I can see that.
Mick saying bug snacks as well. It's got that kind of colourful, charming, like humorous side to it as well. There's nothing threatening or depressing about it. It's just a good, fun game, and the gameplay is enjoyable as well. And the fact you can keep upgrading and find new things, and it's a very wholesome game that we don't get a lot of. So yeah,
it's funny you say that, because one of the things that comes to mind with it is like once a year you get a few of them where there's a game that's just. I don't know, Lyle, you mentioned like the frictionless fun element, but like it's not even, for me, it's not even just that. It is the fact that this game is so undemanding, but also is so visually arresting. It's so audibly engaging. Like everything about it is designed. It feels like it's been designed by people who play games and who are like, we just want to make something for you to go and have fun with. And I'm not saying other games don't do that, because bloody hell, of course they bloody do. We wouldn't play them all. But like sometimes it's like there's no. I mean, I love The Last of Us. Chris, I know you do too, but you don't play that because you're like, I really need cheering up and a good time. It's do you know what I mean? It's not that kind of game. And whereas this, you could, you know, me and Steve, we played some co-op, Steve, didn't we? And that was interesting.
I wanted to play co-op. I was
wondering if we were going to actually try that out.
I think, yes.
I did in the preview event, but I didn't for fully playing it, no.
Yeah, it works based on like your save. So if I invite Steve to my game, he's joining my save, so he instantly has the same abilities that I've unlocked.
Okay.
But it also, because it completely shares,
and the ability to spend your stuff on things we shouldn't as well.
Yeah, like if you unlock an ability at the machine, the printer, now I've got it as well. Like it's,
that's cool.
Less cool for Steve when he went back to his world and hadn't. had like a whole world that we just ripped clean.
Slightly depressing that way. It's like, all of that we've just done, that's all gone now. It's fine.
But there's not really much. I mean, what's the elegant way of doing that? You have to create a separate save that you can only play with, like sort of Split Fiction, I guess. Where it's like you must play this game only with this person together.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, for sure.
So again, not something I'm complaining about.
And it's one of those games as well where, like, although there's co-op, it's not like any of the rest of us felt like we needed the co-op to have a good time. No. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's nice to have it there for a laugh, I think, but you don't. It's the sort of game that you can just kick back on your own and just get on, because it's such a play this at your own pace game. Like,
yeah.
I mean, even down to like fast travel, even between other planets, is really quick. I mean, there's a couple of steps to it, but it's really fast. It loaded really quickly, and everything's sort of laid out for you, and like you can go anywhere in any world as soon as you get there. And if it's fenced off, you haven't got the power yet, you know why, and then you go off and do something else.
It's not interested in trying to confuse you or puzzle you out. It is just like, this is the issue. You need electric powers, so just is how you get.
And she tells you. I keep saying she because I left a female voice on my drone. But
you can choose
she tells you, like, when if you get somewhere and you can't get in there, she goes, "Oh, I know how to get the upgrade for this. You have to go and do that," and the quest appears, and then it's like, there's there's a lot less.
I tell you what though, if I was Raccoon Logic, the developer and publisher of it, this is the kind of game I'm looking to get out on Switch 2 as soon as possible. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got the aesthetic that you'd expect from a Nintendo console. It's great in co-op. Literally has that ability, to play locally. So it should work.
Play, have like 10 minutes there, 10 minutes there.
While having a nice poo, that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Put some gyro aiming on it.
Yeah, it's just
mouse control
for the scanner.
Mouse controls. Yeah. But let's move on. We've got one more game we want to talk about this week, and I know again 3 of us have played it. I played it a little while ago. Look at me, special man. I got to go to Germany and play this one, but now I've played the full version of it. But we're going to start with Mick because he's reviewed it. It's finally here. It's another. In fact, both these games are Game Pass. Just for the record, this is Doom: The Dark Ages, Mick.
Oh, what a game!
Oh,
what a fucking!
Do you see why in the video preview for it I just put "what a fucking game"? Because I couldn't think of any other succinct way of how it felt.
And I tell you what, funnily, we've just been discussing Revenge of the Savage Planet and talking about frictionless games. I never thought I would equate the word frictionless with a Doom game.
Well, hang on, because I don't want people to run off scared at you saying that. It's really important, and I know we don't always spend like ages talking about this sort of stuff, but the default stuff is. Did you look at the hardest difficulties, the descriptions of them?
It's mental.
No thanks.
There's like 6 difficulties. Yeah. So there's 6 difficulty levels off the bat, and it starts you on number 2, right? Which is Hurt Me Plenty, which is always the default Doom setting. So that's the second one.
It's
so
the
if
picture
you want
of Doom guy with a bit bruised up in his face. And,
and
that's all in this, by the way. That's all here. All that. Yeah.
If you want the challenge, it's there. Like you can put the difficulty, but it's also got individual sliders for different things.
Parry windows.
So you can really tweak the difficulty to how you want it. But I just played it on Hurt Me Plenty. I just went straight into Hurt Me Plenty, and it. I've died a few times, but not really. Like, because you have a life system, like you've got 3 lives.
I think you die when you push it. I don't know if that's just me. Like, there's times where I've been mano a mano with an enemy, and I know there are other enemies shooting at me, and it's like the game's trying to tell you with all this colour, you need to deal with these first, because the big dude will wait.
Kill that one.
But I'm like, no. Me and this fucker, we are like old-fashioned jukes up sort of thing, and you need to be like, and then I'll die, and I'm like,
should have.
Fine.
But I've noticed that it does things like if you're in a big fight, if you're in a big arena or set piece. And you're taking a lot of damage, and you hoover up the health packs. A couple of seconds later, if you turn around, there'll be another one there. Yeah. But they don't necessarily respawn in the same place, but it drops them in for you on this standard difficulties. And I think more than probably, like I remember finding Doom Eternal quite hard at times. I remember finding that game to be a little bit more hardcore.
Movement required a lot more because it was a lot more aerial.
Yeah,
and I can't stress enough how this is not. This is the opposite.
No, this is not. And there is still. There's very mild, like they took out a lot of that platforming stuff. Like you still hook yourself at walls and you jump across gaps, and you've got little things you do. Because like the big thing with Doom: The Dark Ages, which is not actually set in the Dark Ages at all. I think they.
Well, they keep saying it's medieval.
It's not at all, though, is it?
I'm not going to argue that, but
it's medieval by way of like a Final Fantasy or a Warhammer is medieval. Like you've got swords and lanterns, but you also got fucking neon lights on everything and spaceships and
flying spaceships and Bluetooth headsets.
Yeah. So it's
medieval LEDs, man.
Yeah,
we all love it.
I tell you what, though, the sense of place is fucking superb. Like I like go from like Doom 16, which the big reboot of Doom 2016 was still very, very much Doom, but like they put all these modern spins on it. And then Doom Eternal. I really feel
that was the game what they did. They had to make that game to go, do you trust us now? Do you trust us? Because look what we've made, and you're like, yeah, whatever, do whatever you want.
Yeah, because Doom Eternal went straight up another notch. Yes. Like Doom Eternal went straight up another notch, and it added in, like it kind of moved away from the whole demons on Mars thing and moved into this universe that it was building with the Makers and the Sentinels and the Doom Slayer and the Legend of, and all that sort of stuff. And then now in the Dark Ages, they've moved that on even further, and now it's so far.
Despite being a prequel
on Earth, it doesn't even mention Earth. You know, it's like, and I don't know where it fits in the timeline properly, because a lot of the elements from Eternal are in the Dark Ages, like the Sentinels and the Makers. They're all still there again, but it's just another one of those demons are fucking shit up. Wake him up. It's that kind of thing again, and it's like
there is more. There is, because this is one thing at the preview event they were keen to sort of stress, is that the story was in the previous two games very much you found a codex, read it, and this there are cutscenes.
There's a lot of story in this and a lot of narrative going on.
There is, but don't you? I'm not 100% ready to say it or not, but like there are elements. I think the first few levels it feels very much like actually you could have given me a bit more exposition, because it feels very much like bang, level.
It does.
Eventually the story kicks in more and you are like, okay, well I see the arc here, but at the very early, if like you say, it very much feels like Doom guy's here, this is happening, kill things. Yeah, and there are cutscenes around that, I should say.
Is that just giving people what they want straight from the off, though? Isn't it?
I think it's certainly not a game where you would want like an hour of a cutscene before you get to shoot anything with a shotgun.
Yeah.
You need to be in and feel it. You need to feel it and go, oh, okay, yeah, we're in.
They're very, very good at drip feeding the new gear and abilities with these games. They're really, really good at keeping it coming. Yeah, and
you think, there's nothing more. That's the game now.
Yeah,
like, oh, okay.
Like every other level, you jump into a level and you see a little, like the things that you pick up. Generally, there's a couple of them where you get something floating in an orb of light or whatever, like a classic Doomy thing. But usually, when you come upon a new weapon or a new secondary, because every weapon, like there's half a dozen weapons, and then there's another half a dozen secondary, and it's not like, oh, we'll stick a rocket launcher on the side of our assault rifle. It's like you've got an assault rifle that becomes like a precision
sniper thingy,
almost like a sniper that launches a massive iron stake, and then you've got like a plasma rifle that becomes this fucking double-barreled cannon. Yeah. So it does this thing, but you'll be running through the level, and you'll see in the distance one of these little like a little sarcophagus that there's a weapon in, and it's like I just want to, and then it'll dump a load of enemies in front of it, and you'll be fighting through the enemies to get to it, and then as soon as you get to it, it drops another load in, and it gets a little tooltip come up and go, this is what this gun does.
Yeah, and then they literally give you a combat encounter that is designed specifically for using that, and it makes, and look, maybe no surprise to anyone who's played any of the recent Doom games, but like, my God, this game makes you feel like a badass. Like,
it's a pure power fantasy. It's absolutely immense.
Yeah,
like it doesn't pull any punches. It's just like, and this is what I was saying about the difficulty, maybe, because on that default difficulty, you are the Doomslayer. Like, this is not a game where you're supposed to be this legendary badass and you're getting bitch slapped by imps. This is like everything is fucking scared of you. Even the main bad guy is scared of you. Like every time you show up, he goes, "Nope."
Try and avoid the Slayer if you can. At one point, he says literally. But like, don't you think this game?
He literally says, "Work around."
Yeah. Like, something I felt at preview. You feel bigger than in the other games. Like when you jump from, I noticed that when you jump from high, you can kill some grunts just by splash damage.
Yeah, that slam you do into the ground,
bigger, but you're not doing anything. You just land.
You don't take full damage, and no matter what height you drop off, you hit at this ground and you do this massive like superhero shockwave that kills any like smaller enemies around you. But you do that all the time because you literally there's like little destructible bits of all the levels.
Yeah.
So you're shooting or you're swinging some of the melee weapons in particular. You hit a demon in front of you and the room around you fucking explodes.
Well, that's one of the first skills you get where you hold left trigger and it'll target someone. You press right trigger and you do a shield bash from like fucking miles away, and it's like there'll be 4 enemies, and when you first see that you're like, well, that's shit because I'm going to hit that guy and there's still 3 enemies. No, if you hit one, the fucking
steamrolls.
They're all gone. Like they're just obliterated around you.
And it's just the way you've got like these great big enemies, like you've got like the Pinky Demon. Well, it's like a guy riding the Pinky Demon in this. So you've got like the classic Doom enemies are there, the Hell Knight, the Pinky Demon, Cyber Demon, they're all there. But you're just like blowing chunks off them. Like they're doing their demony thing, and they're like, some of them are huge and they're supposed to be terrifying, but you just stand in front of them and just mow them down and literally just carve holes in them. And
I think that's one of the big differences. It's like the last few Dooms is about run and gun, more or less. Whereas this, you feel like you're firmly planted in the ground.
Stand and fight is the term they've been using.
Waves of enemies. You've got your Iron Fist where you can beat the shit out of them. You've got your shield, which is incredible. Like you could throw it at them. You could do that run and, throw it and then R2 and then run and like charge it with your shield. But then your weapons as well, like the way that the enemies play into each kind of weapon. You've got those like shields, those electro shields. You can wear them down and then they disappear, and then there's the guys with like metal shields that are orange.
To superheat them, yeah.
And then you throw your shield at them, and they all just explode. Like it's just carnage, but you're fully in control. You have got that grounded element, but you never because there's certain areas where you're like, oh my god, there's like hundreds of them down there, but you never like, oh, I'm going to be careful.
Every time you see that, you're like, fucking straight.
You're not like, oh, you just fucking run.
It quite often gives you that vista where you'll come to the edge and look down, and like the objective marker's down there, and underneath you there's just fucking hundreds of enemies. Or it feels that way, and it's all little ones. But then you'll see like the big ones in the back, and you get these leaders that like have got shields, and they've got like it's got morality or morale system where you've got to destroy all their underlings, and then you can kill them. And like you'll see them in there, and you're never like, right, I'll jump down and kill that. Then maybe it's not like that. It's just straight off.
It's just come on, boys. We's having a party tonight,
And you upgrade the shield because obviously, if you've got the shield's got like a whirring chainsaw blade inside it, and it's, obviously you can throw it, and then later on, I don't think it does it at the beginning because I remember there's a specific upgrade that does it where if you destroy a shield with your shield by throwing it, it will ricochet off of every enemy in the room. Upgrade. And it becomes like Captain America. You just throw the shield and it's so satisfying. Once you go ding, 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 and everything's just
superheat them all to superheating just one, throwing the shield, and then it just takes the lot of them out.
It just blows them all out.
But it's just,
and it gives you rows of them, doesn't it? Because it knows you're going to do it. So like you'll see you'll see an enemy, a big enemy, and there'll just be like a row of these, and they're already superheated. You don't have to do it. It's already there for you. It's laid out for you. And then you've got a row there, then a row over there, and a row, and it's just telling you to just have fun, like more than anything else. Like I said, Doom Eternal, there were times where I found it quite challenging, and like some of the platforming stuff was really just frustrating. And none of this frustrates me. And like there's so many like shortcuts, looping shortcuts to secrets because it's Doom. So there's secret areas and secret keys and secret hidey holes. And it does this really cool thing where you'll see a wall and it'll have a really faint blue symbol on it, and that'll be a secret. Now I can smash through that with my shield. And you'll have this whole second area that you go through, and it'll come up, you found a secret area, and you'll get your collectible fucking toy or whatever, silly things like that just give you something to look for.
Can we talk about the DualSense? But carry on, but let's not. I don't want to forget about the DualSense.
Yeah.
So carry on. Sorry.
But then you'll go through this whole area, and you'll get to the end, and then the door will open up, and you're back in the level. You don't have to backtrack to get out of these secrets. They're designed for you to be like non-frustrating. So you want to look for the secrets because you're not thinking, well, I'm here. If I go and find that secret, how do I get back here in this labyrinthine level? You don't need to, because it will drop you back here when you found the secret nearly every time, and it's just really well designed.
So I mentioned it. I mean, Chris, have you noticed anything you noticed about the DualSense at all?
Not that I can think of.
I noticed something I had to turn off after the family had gone to bed at night because
Mick's where I'm at. It is the loudest thing I have ever seen coming from the DualSense. Like when you find a secret and it goes like, boom, like that. It comes through the DualSense, and
when
I
you
turned it down.
reload your gun, and it comes, and it's so loud it vibrates again through your hand.
But I turned it down, and it's still too loud. I don't think you can turn it down. It's like the game's going, no, I don't think so somehow. But it's also, Steve, you'll appreciate this. I think it's deliberately distorted.
So it's pushing the speaker in the actual DualSense.
No, I think the actual audio is distorted.
Oh, okay.
So it comes out like going because it's so
big
aggressive. Because
I've got a question for you. You guys haven't mentioned it much. I've seen loads of it in previews and things about like the dragon riding and the huge scale of that. Because I was more intrigued by that side.
Before we get to that, can I just my memories of fish, goldfish. Parrying, we've hardly mentioned it. It's like a bullet hell where there's green and reds, and the greens you parry, and that is the thing that makes me feel like this is original Doom in so much, because you'll get an enemy that fires out like vertical slices of colour at you. They'll be like red, 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 and then a green on the left, and you want to parry that back, but then it goes red, 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 green on the right. So you are strafing left to right.
Makes you strafe,
it makes you strafe. You don't have to do that. You could just hold your shield up and absorb the damage. But it makes you strafe left and right, which is like, do you remember the original Doom imps firing fire at you and you would strafe? It reminded me so much of that. But yeah, the dragon.
Yeah, the dragon. I said it in the review. It was the only thing it was my only negative, right? And the dragon riding is, the first time you do it, so look, I knew about it already. I can imagine if I didn't know about it going in, there's a point when you're on the way to the dragon where she says, like, this NPC character who's like one of your allies in the game sort of says, prepare the Slayer's dragon. And I'd have been at that point, fuck, I've got a dragon. And like you go through this whole level, it builds up the dragon because you have to like get there, and they've got it prepped for you. You get there and this fucking huge beast lands, and it's a Doom dragon, so it's got massive like metal bits on it where the wings are made of light that come out of it, and it looks
extra wings with boosters.
Yeah, it's really cool. And the levels that it's attached to, there's nothing like you said, on a sense of scale, skyboxes are immense. This game, and I will say, just this game looks spectacular always, right? So when you get on this dragon, it's huge. The sense of scale. I mean, you're taking on. There's a level later on where you're literally walking around this thing that is the size of a mountain, and it's alive, and it's that kind of scale. It's bigger than anything I've sort of seen, and so it does this sense of scale really well. But what I found with the dragon flight parts was it's a bit janky. Like, the dragon isn't the easiest thing to control, because what it does is it leads you to objectives by giving you enemy ships to fly after and shoot. That's what it does. Like, an enemy ship will pop up. If you follow that enemy ship, it will lead you to the objective, which I thought at first, oh, that's cool. It's giving me something to do while I fly there. But then it's kind of like, well, maybe don't make me fly there if you have to give me something to do to make it interesting to have me fly there. So there's little things like that feel in those. I think somebody really wanted to put the dragon in it, and they really wanted the dragon bit to be playable, and then they had to make the dragon bit engaging. And unfortunately, it doesn't really change. You do a dragon flight, I think 4 times or so throughout the campaign. It's not common, and when you do, they're very short sections. They know what they're doing. They don't make you do this for a long time. It doesn't get boring, but it does. This game is such a high. If you stand still,
but do you not think that's part of it? Because is it not more? So if, like, I think to myself, if these dragon sections were in any other first-person shooter, I think this is awesome. But because of how good the first-person combat is, how good every encounter with every demon is.
But this is what I thought. How do you make it better
than the core of the game?
I thought back to Halo, right? Because we've seen this before, right? When if you remember playing Halo, any time in Halo that you were allowed to fly a Banshee, it was fucking great. Like, get in the Banshee, get up there. The dogfights were brilliant. The aerial stuff you could do in them was brilliant. Sometimes you just got one because you wanted it. You didn't even have to get it to fly anywhere. There were bits in the first game I can remember vividly where you could get into an area and the elites would run and get in the Banshees. But if you killed the elites first, you could take the banshees, and you weren't even really meant to. You didn't have to, but you could if you were quick enough. And you could just fly the banshee around the level for no reason. And every time you got to do that, it added something to the game. It added something to that level or to that moment. And that's what Doom, I think, doesn't quite do, because the dragon parts are heavily scripted. You can fly around. There are, like, the first time you do it, because we haven't even spoken about the fact that there's several areas that are really open, like properly open zone areas. And the first time you get on the dragon, it's kind of like that. There's a lot of objectives, and you can go to them in whatever order you want, and there's places to land, and you can get out and get out and kill stuff, stretch your legs, and get back on your dragon and go back to shooting down giant ships. It's very cool, and it is good. But every time I did it, don't get me wrong, it wasn't like every time I saw the dragon bit, I sighed, because the dragon's cool as fuck. And it's really good, because the Doomslayer is the most inhumane thing that you'll ever see in your life. Like, he's a walking shield of muscle and meat and rage, like he is all the time. I think it says about 3 words in this game, and 2 of them are run in different ways. And but every time you get a little bit with the dragon, like, there's a bit where you see the dragon land, and then in your, like, because it's all first person, like, he looks down at the ground and there's like a severed arm on the floor, and he picks it up and throws it to the dragon, and it eats it. And like, there's bits where the dragon lands and he like pats its neck before he gets on it, and there's little moments like that are like, this he really relates to this dragon, because it's just as pissed off as he is. So like, the dragon bits, they do bring something to the game, but I felt that if it had just been that first one, I think I'd have thought, why didn't they do that again? But then by the time you've done it a few times, it's like, okay, it's enough now, because it's not really changing.
But they made the mechanic, they made the design.
Yeah, and I do. Be acting as a bit of a little pressure valve for when you're needing a few moments away from the frantic.
It's a lengthy game.
Well, no, because I think if you were it is a lengthy game. I think if you were playing on a harder difficulty level, the dragon would be really hard, because I took no damage on the dragon, like, ever. Like, I never came anywhere near.
You've got a health bar, and it's like, why have I got a health bar? And you can get health, and it's like, never got.
And there's health pickups everywhere. Like, it's a game that heals you a lot anyway, because there's upgrades, because all the weapons have their own individual upgrade trees, and some of them have 2, like you like, they have a step where you've got, like, say 3 or 4, say 4 nodes on a ladder for like the combat shotgun, and like the first node will set fire to things if you shoot them enough, and then the second node you can choose between, like, dropping ammo when you set fire to something, or blowing it up when you set fire to something. But you can go into the menu at any time and change those sliders to do one or the other skill, and it does that. So every weapon's got this kind of, let's make it, it's not build crafting, it's not that, but it's got that kind of level to it where you can be like, I want this weapon to do this, and you can go in and go, right, this weapon's got an opportunity to heal me if I set it to this one, so it can heal me with that, and it can drop ammo with that. Fuck it, I'm never putting this weapon down again. And you get to do, but then you do want to put it down, because all the weapons, there's a weapon that's like called the chain shot, and it's like a fucking boxing glove gun. That's exactly what it is. It literally launches a flail on a chain, like a cannonball on a chain.
I'd never thought of it like that, but you're right.
And it properly uppercuts. It properly uppercuts the demons in the face, and then comes back into the gun. And you can upgrade it in a certain way, and then you charge it, and it like glows, and then you do it, and it will just blow up everything. It's like it kills that demon and all of its next of kin. Do you know what I mean? It's just, it's entirely a game that's built for catharsis and fun. I said that in the review. It's a game that is built for people who just want to have fun. It's not, let's see what we can do to challenge people. It's not, let's give them a boss fight every 5 minutes.
It's a game that doesn't get made anymore, quite honestly.
It is. And I think...
there is reasons to go back and 100% stuff, but like this is a game that doesn't really mind if you just play it and you're done. You know,
but yeah, I mean, I've
really
talked a lot. I don't know what you and Chris think about it, because I've sort of.
I'm still thinking about the way you said Banshee. To be honest with you,
Banshee.
Yeah, so I'm glad it wasn't just me, Chris, because we watched
the TV show Banshee, and I say it every time like that, and every time I do, my wife says what?
Yeah.
And I say Banshee. She says it's Banshee. It's Banshee.
Yeah, that's just a Banshee. Your emphasis on the she's Banshee.
You said that as well.
There you go.
Yeah, she's just. Did you hear her then?
Yeah, we just about. Well, let's move on. Let's move on to question of the week, if everyone's all right. We have got some more. We'll do another bonus pod for some questions, but at the moment we're having some fun doing quizzes. So again, patreon.com/lootlevelchill. This week's question, it's a real simple one, actually. I'm just going to go around the room, and we'll start with you, Steve, because you're the nearest button to my fingers.
Right.
McPoo says, what's your favourite ice lolly? It's not easy for me to say, apparently, ice lolly, but there you go.
I mean, it's going to be the classic rocket, isn't it? If it's specifically an ice lolly and not ice cream on a stick.
I think he said ice lolly for that specificity, yes.
I was wondering. So, yeah, classic rocket then, man. Getting all the fruity flavours in you.
Okay.
You don't have to choose. Just
There's
get them
no
all.
way we go round this table and back to me and mine's not gone, but that's fine. Next on the list is Chris White.
Right. Fruit pastels lolly.
Oh, I was going to say that.
You fucker.
Same idea, man.
Really?
It is the best.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
mine's not gone. Wow.
I want to ask a question. We're all friends. Be honest. If it's just me, then I've owned up to something that
Oh, God.
I can't take that.
Just,
Where do you stick it, Chris?
Has anyone ever
Show us on the
tried?
doll where you stick it.
Has anyone ever tried to get it down as far as possible, like just to see?
Everyone must have done that at some point.
Can I just say,
Yeah,
is
like-
the question you're asking, have we all tried to deep throat
Yeah.
fruit pastels lolly?
Yeah, properly
Obviously.
deep,
I
like
would
without
assume the
gagging.
answer is
Well,
yes.
Chris, we're all adults. Ask us it properly.
Have you ever shoved a fruit pastel lolly down your throat until you gag, or you don't gag, just to work out your gag reflex, just in case a situation ever arose where you need to or want to?
It doesn't reach the back, to be fair. Like,
Yeah, they're a little bit stubborn.
but
Is it such a good?
boy.
Is it such a good thing to use for this because you can work out what colour you get up to? So it's like a
Oh
little.
my
Yeah, it's a
God.
good. Yeah, it's a
Scale
measuring
of
stick.
deep throating a lolly.
Yeah, she went green on me last night, lad.
I mean,
I
mine's a
regret
fab,
asking a
for the
question.
record. Mine's a fab.
I'd have thought that'd be girls because Fab's such a gay lolly, isn't it?
It is a gay as fuck
Gay
lolly.
lolly.
They got the little knobbly bobbly chocolate bit on the end, haven't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you had a bunch of random lollies in a room, Fab would be the gay one. Like that's
It is.
it's the gayest lolly.
It's representation in the lolly world. With the ones that are gone, I'm taking an apple cider lolly, by the way, just
Oh,
What's
in
an apple
case.
cider lolly?
Fucking bravo!
That
It's,
sounds
it's like,
cool.
it's
What
like-
good?
A homemade
It's like
thing, is that?
no, they sell them on
You can buy them.
ice cream vans and stuff. They're like appley, but for some reason they always call them apple cider lollies. So they're like they're a bit richer and nicer. They're nice.
Does a feast count? Or is it a festival sometimes? Does a feast
feast
count
is
as a
fine,
lolly?
yeah, that's a
Because
lolly.
that if
The
I didn't,
feast
if I
is good,
couldn't
yeah.
have a
Isn't that
fruit
just ice
pastel
cream on a
lolly,
stick again, though?
But
no,
no, what?
because it's got nuts in the shell
Yeah, but if it's predominantly ice cream,
and it
I'm
cracks
sorry,
I think
like
it's
a
predominantly
magnum.
chocolate.
It's like a deeper magnum.
no, you can't have a
Hang
Magnum.
on.
And it's
I
got
was
that
gonna say,
chocolate in the
that's-
middle that's not available anywhere else. That doesn't exist
Oh,
on the planet outside of
with
the
the weird
feast.
texture.
It's cooking
Yeah.
chocolate in it.
I don't know. Is it?
It's leftover smack.
Because I'll eat a bar of that
Yeah.
and be sick.
I mean, I don't know where you go from that, really. Thanks for the question. I guess
good one.
It was a good question. I genuinely never. I thought that would be just a nice, quick question. Easy, nothing to edit there. Thank you very much for watching and listening to this episode of Loot Level Chat. If you don't know, we're a website, lootlevelchill.com, which is also the name of our YouTube channel at Loot Level Chill. We're on Blue Sky with the same thing, and patreon.com, Loot Level Chill. Thank you to Steve, to Chris, to Mick, and to Lyle for being here this week.
Thank you.
Hell
I
yeah.
mean, just fine. Yeah, no. I mean,
Thank
you're also
you.
thinking about the fruit pastels, I think. But yeah, if you want to hear the next
Wow.
bonus episode, which I heartily endorse you do so, go to patreon.com/lootlevelchill. And yeah, we'll see you next week or whenever you choose to listen. Bye bye for now.